All right, guys, I'm going to tell you how not to put in a steering gearbox. So, day one of our 30-day push, and it's already terrible. And so what we're working on, I was working on, and I got my buddy Marion helping me out today. He was here when we put the, not put the engine in, but when we fired the engine up for the first time. So I appreciate the help, Marion. I started with this issue. Let me show you what we got going on here. I started getting the steering gearbox in with the headers and everything is just a nightmare. And I did this totally the wrong way. So what happened was we had the headers on the engine and I started on the front suspension. I came down here, it looks good. I think this came out pretty good. So I got, you know, upper control, lower control. This is all built up, ready to go. Then I moved on and started with the connecting assembly. All right, made sense. And then I was like, okay, well, steering gearbox, time to put in the steering gearbox. So then I went in here and with the header in place, tried to get the steering gearbox in, and it did not go in. And I beat the hell out of my inner fender, and I beat the hell out of my headers trying to get the steering gearbox in. Ultimately, I never could get it in. So I decided to pull the header off, which means I ended up, you know, failing the gasket to the header. I also ended up breaking off the stud, which we've now probably spent a good 4 hours trying to drill out the stud that broke off, and then the, what are the easy outs? The easy out that broke off, trying to get that out. So probably a good 4 hours lost on that so far. We did get the steering gearbox in, and now we can't get the header back in. So where we're at right now, what I think that I should have done, and it's, you know, in a way it's a rookie mistake, but hey, you know, you don't know what you don't know. I think the right path forward is we could pull the engine up, get it in that way. I really don't want to do that. What I should have done is, before I built up this front assembly, I should have, because when the header was in place, I think if the torsion bar wasn't there and the lower control arm wasn't there, I think I would have been able to slide the gearbox up and into place. And so that's, unfortunately, I don't see another way around it. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. So it sucks because I'm gonna have to undo, aside from failing the stud, wasting hours on trying to get it to fit, I now got to go back and probably, I mean, we're still looking for other options, but right now it looks like the best thing to do is just suck it up, undo that, pull the torsion bar, pull this whole assembly apart, put the steering gearbox in, and then rebuild all of this. So sucks, you know, tough way to start the day one of the 30-day. The list is still just as crappy as it was before. Also, came out here, started cleaning up the rest of the power steering assembly. So as we're, you know, tag teaming this, work on that as well. So that's what we got going on. It's a bit of a mess. All right, quick update on a few things. So first off, we did get our bolt out, but we ended up damaging the threads a little bit in the process. So since that goes into the water jacket, really needs to seal up well. We're gonna have to helicoil it, but at least we were able to, I can run a bolt into it. It just doesn't quite seal up as well as I'd like. So helicoiling that. Good news is I've never done a helicoil before. So hey, we get that opportunity, get to learn how to do that. But I think that should be pretty straightforward. All right, so into our fitment issue. So you can see now, I went ahead and started disassembling this. I didn't finish this quite yet because I did want to take one more look at it before I got too far. So putting the headers in, you can see here how tight this all is. And no matter what I did, I could not get, I pulled the steering gear back out, could not get it in through here because it's just too tight right here. And then, but you can see if this wasn't here before, I'm sorry, if this was not here, you can see how that would be able to come up through here, especially if we leave our headers loose for the time being. So this, I believe, is the right thing to do. And to be honest, I saw, that was the first thing that I saw when I went to go put in the steering gear, you know, 3 days ago, or 3 work days ago. And I saw that and I was like, ooh, I don't want to have to take those back out. So I messed with it and tried other bullshit for way too long. And here I am going back to what I thought would have worked right in the first place. So, you know, it is what it is. Live and learn. Let me see if I can get this back in, and then I'll let you guys know where we end up for the day. Alright guys, unfortunately I'm giving up for the day. It's getting dark, I'm exhausted, and this thing's just tough. It is tough. I tried putting the exhaust in, then putting the steering gear in. Couldn't get it. Tried leaving it loose. Too many things to hold, and frankly the steering gear here is just is ridiculously heavy, and trying to manipulate that, trying to pull it up is just a back accident waiting to happen. It's I'm a pretty strong guy, but this thing is just this thing's tough, especially trying to do it alone. So I think Marion probably is going to come back tomorrow, and hopefully with an extra set of hands, maybe I'll be able to get all of this in here. I really don't want to have to drop the damn engine back down, but if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. I'm a little bit worried in case I ever have any issues and need to replace this gearbox. That's going to be a disaster again. But yeah, getting headers to fit, I've heard that it sucks. Definitely sucks. I wish they made these gearboxes either lighter weight or smaller profile. I know you can buy some, but they're pretty darn expensive. So, all right, that's all I got for today, guys. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll be at it. I'll be at it tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing buttoned up, get our whole front suspension finished. So, all right, take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow.